Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a man who has walked through years of silence, built his own world with his bare hands, and stood so firmly on his own that he forgot what it felt like to need anyone. But here's the truth. The longer a man has been without a relationship, the more dangerous his love becomes. Because when he finally gives it, it's not born from loneliness, it's born from power. And that changes everything. The longer a man has been without a relationship, the more life has shaped him in silence. Time alone is never just the absence of love. It is the forging ground of the soul. Each day spent without the pull of someone else's heart gives him a deeper conversation with himself. He learns to sit in his own company, not as a man abandoned, but as a man preparing for something worthy, preparing for someone worthy. When a man has been single for a long time, it's not that he forgets how to love, it's that he learns how to love differently. He learns the value of energy, of peace, of alignment. He becomes intentional about what he allows into his space, because solitude has taught him how precious his inner world really is. The more he has lived without the constant presence of a partner, the more he understands that relationships aren't meant to complete him, but to complement the life he has already built. You see, there is something powerful about a man who has learned to stand on his own 2 feet without leaning on romantic validation. He is not desperate. He is not chasing shadows. He has faced his own reflection enough times to know who he is, and more importantly, who he is not. Every lonely night has carved patience into his character. Every morning alone has strengthened his discipline. He's had to find joy in small victories, motivation in personal goals, and comfort in his own skin. The longer he's been without a relationship, the more his vision sharpens. He's no longer swayed by surface beauty alone. He looks deeper, he listens closer, and he values substance over spectacle. He understands that charm without character is hollow, and that passion without purpose quickly burns out. He no longer falls for every smile because he has learned the weight of giving his heart to the wrong hands. Time alone has taught him the importance of protecting his peace. He has seen what chaos feels like, and he refuses to invite it into his life again. The quiet has shown him that peace is not boring, it is priceless. A man who has been alone for a long time understands that a relationship is not just about romance. It is about building something that adds value to both lives. If love costs him his sanity, his dreams, or his freedom, he will walk away without hesitation. Solitude shapes resilience. Without someone to lean on emotionally, he's had to become his own source of encouragement. When he felt low, he had to lift himself up. When he failed, he had to remind himself that failure is not final. When no one was clapping for him, he learned to applaud himself. And in doing so, he became a man who doesn't crumble at the first sign of adversity. The longer he's been without a relationship, the more he appreciates the small, often overlooked details of life. A good meal, a meaningful conversation, a moment of laughter with friends, the way the sun feels on his face in the morning. Because when you are not distracted by constant relationship drama, you learn to savor the present. You learn to live fully, even without someone beside you. And here's the thing, time alone also sharpens his standards. He's not interested in temporary thrills. He's not willing to settle just to avoid loneliness. He knows the difference between someone who genuinely loves him and someone who just wants to use his presence as a temporary escape. This is not arrogance, this is wisdom. Wisdom gained through years of watching, learning, and understanding the patterns of people. A man who has been without a relationship for a long time often carries an unspoken depth. He has wrestled with his own thoughts in the quiet hours. He has learned to process his emotions without projecting them onto someone else. He's confronted his weaknesses instead of hiding them behind romantic distractions. That kind of self-awareness makes him dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to mediocrity, to complacency, to any love that is less than genuine. Over time, he realizes that love should not be born out of need, but out of overflow. He doesn't want to be with someone because he is lonely. He wants to be with someone because his life is already rich and full, and he wishes to share it. That difference changes everything. It means that when he chooses someone, it's not because he has to, but because he truly wants to. The longer he has been alone, the more comfortable he becomes with the truth. He no longer lies to himself just to keep an illusion alive. He won't sugarcoat red flags. He won't pretend that chemistry is enough when values don't align. He understands that love is not just about how you feel in the moment, but about how you grow together over time. And in all those days, months, or even years of being without a relationship, he has built something far more valuable than constant companionship. He has built himself, piece by piece, day by day. He has poured into his work, his hobbies, his friendships, his health, and his personal growth. He's invested in becoming a man who can stand tall, with or without a partner. So when love finally does come his way, it will find a man who is whole, a man who doesn't need saving, a man who knows that his worth is not defined by who he is with, but by who he has become in the waiting. Love will find a man who has been refined by solitude, disciplined by independence, and made wise by the lessons of time. He will love differently, not with desperation, but with intention, not with fear, but with confidence, not with half of himself, but with all of himself. And the woman who earns that love will know that she is not just with any man, she is with a man who chose her when he did not need her, a man whose heart has been patiently waiting, not idly searching. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he has learned to value the right one. And when he finds it, he will give it everything, not because he is afraid to lose it, but because he finally understands what it means to truly have it. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he has learned to value the right one. And when he finds it, he will give it everything, not because he is afraid to lose it, but because he finally understands what it means to truly have it. He will approach it like a gardener tending to a rare and precious plant, not in haste, but with patience. Not with overbearing force, but with consistent care. He will water it with honesty, feed it with attention, and protect it from the weeds of neglect. A man who has been alone for a long time knows that love doesn't just survive on grand gestures, it survives on the quiet, daily choices that prove commitment without words. His love will be deliberate. He will not say, "I love you" out of habit or obligation, but because he means it in that exact moment. Every action will carry the weight of thought and intention. He will not vanish when times get hard because his solitude has already taught him how to face storms alone. If he stood in the rain by himself and still came out strong, imagine how fiercely he will fight when there is someone beside him worth protecting. Years without a relationship have trained his eyes to see beyond the surface. He will notice the smallest changes in tone, the slightest shift in body language, the quiet sigh that says more than 1,000 words. He has learned to listen, not just to what is said, but to what is left unsaid. This makes him a safe place for a woman's truth because she will feel seen in ways she didn't even know she wanted to be seen. And because he has mastered the art of being alone, he will never try to cage someone out of fear. He won't cling in desperation because he knows that love cannot be sustained through control. He understands the beauty of space within togetherness. He will encourage dreams, celebrate individuality, and never shrink a person just to keep them close. For him, love is freedom that feels like home. In his solitude, he has had conversations with life itself. He has learned what he stands for, what he will fight for, and what he will never compromise on. That kind of clarity means his love will have boundaries, not as walls to shut someone out, but as gates to protect what truly matters. He will welcome in those who bring light and close the door firmly on anything that threatens peace. Time without a relationship has also taught him gratitude. He knows what it's like to come home to silence, to eat alone at a table meant for two, to celebrate wins with no one to share them with. That memory makes him cherish the presence of a partner all the more. Every laugh shared, every meal together, every late-night conversation will be treasured because he understands the value of moments that can so easily be taken for granted. His years of independence have strengthened his sense of responsibility. He won't expect someone else to fix his life because he has already been fixing it on his own. He will not hand over his happiness for someone else to manage. Instead, he will bring his own joy, stability, and vision to the table, ready to build something greater together. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more he has learned to embrace growth. He has faced the uncomfortable truth that being single for years doesn't automatically mean he's perfect. It means he's had time to work on himself, and he has used that time well. He has refined his character, built his skills, learned from his mistakes, and corrected the patterns that once held him back. When love finally arrives, it will not be met by the same man who once stumbled blindly into relationships. It will meet a man who has studied himself like a map, who knows the roads to his heart and the detours to avoid. This self-knowledge will allow him to love without losing himself and to give without emptying his soul. Solitude has also taught him the language of patience. He knows that real connection cannot be rushed, that trust is not built in a day, and that commitment is proven over seasons, not moments. He will not mistake infatuation for love, nor will he be swayed by temporary emotions. He will let the relationship breathe, grow, and root itself deeply before expecting it to bloom. His time alone has given him an appreciation for quality over quantity. He doesn't want endless flings, shallow conversations, or temporary excitement. He seeks depth, the kind of bond that can sit in silence without discomfort, that can laugh without reason, that can fight and still choose each other at the end of the day. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more he has developed emotional discipline. He knows how to manage his anger without lashing out, how to communicate his needs without playing games, and how to listen without turning everything into a debate. This maturity means that when conflict arises, he will not be quick to destroy what he has built. He will seek solutions, not victories. He will value loyalty in ways others may not understand. Because he has lived years without anyone pledging themselves to him, he will hold it sacred when someone does. He will not toy with it, betray it, or take it for granted. For him, loyalty is not just about staying faithful when it's easy, but choosing the relationship even when it's hard. In his solitude, he has also learned how to take care of himself physically, mentally, and spiritually. He knows the I. Importance of being healthy for his own sake so that when love comes, he can be at his best. This self-care means he will not drain a partner with constant neediness or instability. Instead, he will bring strength, steadiness, and a sense of safety. The longer he's been without a relationship, the more he has understood the difference between loneliness and being alone. Loneliness is a hunger for connection, but being alone is a choice to prioritize peace over chaos. He has mastered the latter, which means that if a relationship ever threatens his well-being, he will have the strength to walk away. When he finally meets someone, he will approach her not as a man who needs saving, but as a man ready to give, ready to build, ready to commit. His years without a partner will have trained him to see love as a privilege, not an entitlement. This makes his presence a gift, his love a treasure, and his commitment a fortress. And perhaps most importantly, his time alone has made him deeply aware of how rare true love is. He knows that not every spark turns into a fire, and not every connection is meant to last. That awareness will make him hold on to the right one with gentle but unwavering hands. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he has prepared himself, not just to find love, but to keep it. And when he does, every moment, every touch, every promise will carry the weight of a man who waited, who learned, and who is finally ready. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he has prepared himself, not just to find love, but to keep it. And when he does, every moment, every touch, every promise will carry the weight of a man who waited, who learned, and who is finally ready. When he steps into that relationship, he will do so with both eyes open. He won't be blinded by fantasy or caught off guard by reality. He will see his partner for who she is, the beauty, the flaws, the strengths, the fears, and he will embrace all of it without pretending that perfection exists. Time alone has stripped away his illusions and taught him that love is not about finding a flawless person, but about choosing someone whose imperfections you can live with and grow alongside. He will show up fully, not halfway. Years of standing on his own have made him understand that half-hearted love is worse than no love at all. He will give his energy, his focus, and his heart without holding pieces back in fear. But his giving will not be reckless. It will be rooted in discernment, guided by the wisdom that comes from past mistakes and long stretches of reflection. He will bring depth into conversations because his solitude has made him think deeply about life, purpose, and connection. He will be able to talk about dreams, fears, childhood memories, and future goals without hesitation. He will be comfortable with vulnerability because he has already faced the hardest person to open up to, himself. And when a man is at peace with his own truth, he becomes a safe harbor for the truth of others. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more he has learned the power of consistency. He knows that relationships are not built on occasional bursts of romance, but on steady, reliable presence. His partner won't have to wonder if he will show up. She will know, because he has spent years showing up for it. are himself, that habit of reliability will naturally extend into the love he gives. Time alone has also sharpened his ability to celebrate others without losing himself. He won't see his partner's success as a threat, but as a shared victory. He understands that love is not a competition. It's a partnership where both people win when one person thrives. This mindset allows him to encourage, support, and stand proudly beside his partner without envy or insecurity. Because he has been alone for so long, he has learned to manage his emotions in silence. There have been nights when no one was there to comfort him, so he had to comfort himself. There were disappointments he had to face without reassurance from another voice. That resilience means he will not expect his partner to heal every wound or solve every problem. He will come equipped with his own tools for self-restoration. His patience will extend beyond just the relationship. It will be evident in the way he listens, the way he understands, and the way he allows things to unfold without rushing them. A man who has learned to wait for love has also learned to wait in love. He won't panic when things slow down or change. He will see those moments as natural seasons, trusting that what is built on solid ground can weather any shift. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more he has grown comfortable in his skin. He won't need to impress with empty gestures or overcompensate with charm. He will lead with authenticity, knowing that the right person will love him not for the mask he wears, but for the man he truly is. And because he values authenticity, he will also encourage his partner to be herself completely without fear of judgment. His time alone has given him perspective on conflict. He has learned that arguments are not battles to be won, but opportunities to understand each other better. He will not weaponize his partner's vulnerabilities or throw her mistakes back in her face. Instead, he will approach disagreements with the intent to protect the bond, not to damage it. His goal will not be to win against his partner, but to win with her. He will bring stability into the relationship because he knows instability well. He remembers the unpredictability of uncertain connections, the pain of emotional inconsistency, and the exhaustion of never knowing where he stood. That memory will push him to be steady, to be dependable, to be the kind of partner who makes love feel like a safe place instead of a battlefield. In the years without a relationship, he has built his independence to the point where love is a choice, not a necessity. That difference is everything. A man who doesn't need a relationship to feel whole will never hold his partner hostage with guilt or fear. He will love freely without strings because he knows that love loses its magic when it becomes an obligation. He will notice things others might overlook, the effort his partner puts into small gestures, the courage it takes for her to share her feelings, the unspoken ways she shows care. His gratitude will be real, not forced, because he knows that these small acts are the foundation of lasting connection. His solitude will have taught him that not every disagreement needs an instant resolution. Sometimes space is necessary. Sometimes silence speaks more than words. Sometimes the best way to love is to listen and let things settle before addressing them. That emotional maturity will prevent unnecessary damage and make reconciliation smoother and stronger. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more selective he has become with his time and energy. He will not waste it on games, manipulations, or shallow connections. He knows that his days are valuable, and so is his partner's, so he will invest them in building something that lasts. Years of self-reliance will have made him resourceful. He will find creative ways to solve problems, keep the relationship fresh, and support his partner's needs. He won't always wait for a perfect moment to express love. He will create the moments, knowing that effort is what keeps relationships alive. He will be comfortable with both closeness and distance. Because he has lived without constant companionship, he won't panic when his partner needs time to herself. He will trust that space is not the enemy of love, but the oxygen that keeps it breathing. That trust will make the relationship stronger because it will be built on mutual respect, not control. His sense of commitment will not be shallow. It will not be based solely on how good things feel, but on the decision to keep choosing his partner even when it's difficult. He knows that love is not just a feeling, it is a daily choice. And he will make that choice with confidence because he has waited long enough to know what's worth committing to. When he loves, it will be with his whole self, mind, body, and soul. He will not withhold affection out of pride or punish with silence out of ego. His years of solitude will have stripped away the immature need to play power aims. Instead, he will bring openness, trust, and respect into every interaction. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he realizes that love is not about possession. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he realizes that love is not about possession. It's about partnership. And when he finds the right one, he will not try to own her, but to walk beside her, building a life together where both can stand tall. He will not see her as someone to complete his world, but as someone to share it with. His years alone will have already taught him to build his own happiness, to create his own joy, and to fill his life with meaning. This means that when she arrives, she will not be stepping into an empty space desperate to be filled. She will be joining a life already rich with purpose, ready to welcome her as an equal. He will honor her individuality because he will know firsthand the value of independence. He has lived it. He has guarded his own space and cherished his own freedom, so he will understand the importance of allowing her the same. He will support her dreams without feeling threatened by them, encourage her growth without fearing she will outgrow him, and stand proudly by her side as she becomes the best version of herself. A man who has been alone for so long understands the beauty of choice. He will choose her every day, not because there is no one else, but because even if the world were full of options, she would still be the one he turns to. That daily act of choosing will be evident in the way he speaks to her, the way he shows up for her, and the way he protects the relationship from anything that could weaken it. He will treat her trust like fragile glass, not because he fears breaking it, but because he respects its value. Time has shown him how rare it is to find someone who opens their heart fully, and he will not squander that gift. Every promise he makes will be one he intends to keep. Every word of assurance will be backed by action. He will understand the balance between giving and receiving. His solitude has taught him that relationships cannot be one-sided, and he will not drain himself to prove his worth. Instead, he will love in a way that is sustainable, where both partners are nourished, both are appreciated, and both are contributing to the strength of the bond. Because he has spent years meeting his own needs, he will never seek to control hers. He will not fear her independence, her strength, or her ability to stand on her own. In fact, he will celebrate it, knowing that two whole people create a love far more powerful than two halves clinging to each other for completion. His love will be steady, not reckless. He will not be quick to threaten to walk away in moments of frustration because he knows how rare it is to find a genuine connection. He has learned that commitment means staying even when emotions are high, working through the problem instead of abandoning the person. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more mindful he will be of the little things. He will remember the days when there was no one to ask about his day, no one to share a laugh with over dinner, no one to wish him good night. Those memories will make him value the presence of his partner in ways words can barely capture. He will see her not as a given, but as a blessing. He will also be wise enough to understand that love is not sustained by romance alone. While he will give romance generously, he will also bring stability, patience, and the willingness to do the unglamorous work that keeps relationships strong. He will know that love is kept alive in moments of compromise, in acts of forgiveness, and in the shared commitment to keep choosing each other, even when it's hard. His time alone will have given him clarity about the kind of partner he wants to be. He will want to be the man who listens fully, who supports without hesitation, and who loves without conditions. He will aim to be her peace, not her source of chaos. He will want her to feel safer in his arms than anywhere else in the world. And because he has known the weight of standing alone, he will never take lightly the privilege of having someone to lean on. He will not shrug off her affection as routine, nor will he let her efforts go unnoticed. Every word of kindness, every gesture of care, every moment of presence will be met with gratitude. His years of self-reflection will make him aware of his flaws, and he will not be too proud to admit when he is wrong. He has had time to confront the parts of himself that needed change, and he will continue to work on them even within the relationship. He will understand that love is not a reason to stop growing. it is the greatest reason to keep growing. The longer he has been without a relationship, the more attuned he will be to the power of communication. He will speak honestly, listen actively, and seek to understand before seeking to be understood. He will not allow pride to silence him or ego to distance him, because he knows that relationships thrive in the light of open dialogue, not in the shadows of assumptions. He will treat time together as sacred. He will not let work, distractions, or outside pressures constantly steal from the moments that matter. He has spent enough years filling his own calendar to know that no amount of busyness can replace genuine connection. When he is with her, he will be fully present, mind, heart, and soul. His love will be intentional. It will not be random bursts of effort followed by neglect. It will be a steady flame that is tended to daily, never allowed to fade through complacency. He knows that relationships do not fail overnight. They fade when the small acts of love are forgotten, and he will not let that happen. Because he has lived without the warmth of love for so long, he will not take it for granted when it's finally in his hands. He will guard it, nurture it, and protect it from anything that could dim its light. He will understand that love is both delicate and powerful, both fragile and enduring, and it thrives only when it is cherished. He will see her not as a possession to be kept, but as a soul to be honored. He will know that love is not about holding someone tightly out of fear, but walking beside them in trust. His years alone have shown him that the most beautiful kind of love is the kind where both people are free and both choose day after day to stay. Because the longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he knows that when the right one finally arrives, it is not just a chapter in his life, it is the story he has been preparing to write all along.